Hello, let's do the New York Times Hard Sudoku for November 28th, 2025. There's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself, and I'm going to get started right now. All right. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to add a quick pass because I sometimes get questions of like, hey, why are you so systematic about it? The systematic part is entirely to help you learn so you can follow all along more easily. But if you are kind of at the point where you're like, okay, I'm hitting a little bit of a wall with the systematic method, how might I go faster? And the answer is kind of a holistic look at the grid first, finding the easy stuff before you then go back and do systematic scans. This is what I would do in my own personal solving if I was just kind of trying to casually do it. I would but I would lean on systematic methods if when I need to, but it's often better to kind of jump around. But my feeling is in a walkthrough tutorial, jumping around can feel like, hey, how did you know to go there? How did you know to go there? But I want to sort of give you an idea of what I would do there. I'm not exactly entirely practiced at this because most of my solving you see on camera. I don't do a whole lot of solving on my own, but I thought we would go through this exercise. So what I'm looking for is like, for example, this box really jumps out, right? It's got only 3 digits left. So probably what we want to do is first just think about what those 3 digits are, and then also then do a quick scan of the 2 boxes around, or actually the 4 boxes around it, right? These boxes. Do a quick scan of those to see if there's any obvious buddies that might be helpful. So the digits that are missing are 5, 6, 8. And so we're looking for 5, 6, 8 around here. We don't have anything like that. I'm going to just mark it up because that's kind of my thing. But unfortunately, there's not anything amazing there. Now we're going to look and see, okay, is there anything that's actually super interesting? Not just like, okay, these 2 4s look up, we can mark 4s there. Is there anything that like I can place a digit or I end up with like claiming or pointing that's going to be helpful? Because that's the most important thing, as well as is there any geometry that might give me stuff like a hidden pair or hidden triple? So like I'm seeing a bunch of buddies, but I'm not seeing anything of that nature. I'm seeing, taking note that we have a 1, 9 here and a 1, 9 here. So we need 1 and 9 over here. But unfortunately, we don't know exactly what 2 cells they go in. All right, so that's something that you just kind of want to do this at a glance. Obviously, with my teaching method, I'm going to be going a little slower. But then I'm going to just move on to this next box, which has the second most givens in it. It is still down to 4, so I'm just going to think about that real quick. So I have in my head, what are the digits that it's missing? Which are the 1, I missed something. 1, 6, 7, 9. So this is, for example, one thing that's going to be helpful is the 6 up here, right? It puts a 6 with these 2. And what I said is like, I'm looking for pointing, I'm looking for claiming, I'm looking for hidden singles. So these point up, the 6 looks in, and it does it. So basically what we learned is that these aren't 6. And so we're not going to do too much marking at the moment, because again, we're just doing a really quick pass. I think I've explained enough times. Sorry. What we learned, though, is you want to make sure you follow up if you can. And so but the way to follow up is to think about what you learned. And what we learned here is that these 2 cells are not 6. We didn't know that before. But there doesn't seem to be any kind of immediate obvious follow-up to that. Let's see. We need... let's see. So it was... I already forget the digits. I think 7. Yeah, 7 and 9. It was 1, 6, 7, 9. So I'm seeing a couple cells that are bi values, which I think are going to be important to know about. So this can't be 1, 6, so it's down to 7, 9. This can't be 6 or 7, so it's down to 1, 6. Sorry, can't be 6 or 7, so it's down to 1, 9. But I'm not seeing anything else. Oh, hold on. This is something to potentially look at, is the 2, 3, 8 against this row. But unfortunately, see, this can't be 2, 3. No, we don't have anything. All right. This column's just interesting in general, so we're going to look at that as well. Like it's only got 4 open cells, so we need the 1, 2, 6, 7. This can't be the 1, 2, or 6. We get our first digit. This is a -7. And then this is just a triple, so we're just gonna mark out the 1, 2, 6 here, just so we know what that triple is. All right. This box is probably the next one to look at, especially since we just got a 7 in it. So we can see that we can keep going on the 7s. All these 7s looking in places the 7 in the box here. I don't think there's more directly with that. I want to see if anything looks through here or looks through here. So the 8 looking through here does put an 8 one of these two, and I am going to mark that because that is pointing. And so that means that the 8's over here somewhere, and I'm going to mark that as well to remind me that these aren't 8 anymore. Okay. And we want to think about these 4 digits in general, just in case we need a... Oh yeah, we do need 1, 2. So 1, 2, 5, 8. So this is down to 5, 8. 1, 2, 5, 8. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is just take a really quick glance at, like, for example, this 1, 5, 8 against this column. I see that we have the 1, 8 here. Not quite good enough. The 1, 7, 8 against this row. We already have the 7, but we do need 1, 8. Wow. So a lot of really close geometry that we can't quite do anything with. And then the 1, 4, 9. We just need 1 and 9. Yeah, we already looked at the 1, 9s looking up. Okay, so this is basically the simple stuff from the first pass. I guess we could also look at this column, which is down to 4. We know it's 5, 6, 8. What's the other digit? It's the 4. 4, 5, 6, 8. So this can't be 4 or 5, so this is down to 6, 8. This can't be 5 or 6, so this is down to 4, 8. I might as well write down the 4, 5, 6 here while I'm here. So I don't think there's anything else super high value to find in this grid. So hopefully you'd be able to find this information relatively quickly at the start of the puzzle. And then you can go and do systematic, since there's not an obvious follow-up to the info we got. We only got 1 digit out of it. It's possible that we're going to check in the systematic, like, was there something else I could have seen? And what could I have done to see that better at the start? So that we can think about how to improve that initial pass. So that initial pass is something of like, let's learn the easiest stuff we can about the puzzle, but also now let's go and do systematic and see what else we could have seen that was very high value that we didn't. And then that helps train our brain of, this is the stuff that I should be looking for. And I'm always doing that too. You never stop doing that. All right, so we're just going to start in box 1 here. We've got the 3, 4, 6, 7, 9. I'm going to be marking buddies now, and other things like that. So we do have the 2 3s, so it puts a 3 in one of these two. The 4s look in, putting a 4 in one of these two. Anything with the 3 or 4 horizontally? Yeah, so this 4 looks in, this 4 looks up. Oh, that's not quite good enough. Oh, no, sorry, we do have 2 4s looking up. Okay, so yeah, 4's in one of these two. This 4 didn't actually help us. All right. What was left in this box? Because we can mark these two up as well. We need a 1, 2, 5, 8. So these aren't the 8s. These are down to 1, 2, 5. That's not a 2. This isn't a 5, so it's 1, 2, 8. All right. So we actually learned that the 2's in one of these two. Right. We already knew the 1, 2, 6 was here. I'm immediately seeing that this cell is limited because it's not the 1, 2, 6 because of that triple, and it's not the 3, 4, 8 because of all these corner marks. So what can it be? It's not 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be 5. It's not 6. It can't be 7 or 9. Oopsie. Can't be 7 or 9. So it is down to just 5. So that's a naked 5 there, and that places 5 in this box and gives us the 8 as well. All right. We're left with a 1, 2 pair here. And so where's 1 in this box? Only right here. And this is down to 6, 7, 9. Top one's not 9, bottom's not 7. All right. Okay. I want to think about the rest of this column, which is down to 4, 6, 7, 9. Surprisingly, not really anything to see with that. How about the rest of this row? It's down to 1, 2, 3, 8. This can't be 1 or 8, so this is 2, 3. This can't be 1, 2, so this is 3, 8. In fact, this whole column is 3, 7, 8, 9. 3, 7, 8, 9. So this isn't 3, so it's 7, 8, 9. Let's clear this 5. It's yelling at me. Okay, so that's quite a bit from here. We got the 5, the 7, and then we got the 7 a while ago, but we got the 5 and the 8. So the 5s look in here, putting a 5 up here. And then the 8s look in here, putting an 8 in one of these two. Now we want to look for 8 in this column because now we learned it's not in these two. And it's not here. So 8 is placed in the column. That gives us the 6, the 9, the 7, and the 6. So that's not a 7. That's not a 6. We get the 4, 8, and 5. All right. All right. These two digits are a pair. What's other than the 4? Looks like 7. All right. So 4, 7 pair, and then this is 3, 8, 9. Oopsie. I can clear these, though. This is 3, 8, 9. Okay. So this stack, we basically don't have to worry about too much. We got a bunch of these digits that we might want to follow up on. This is just a filled box, though. So you're always going to find a buddy. So these two 7s do find a buddy here. Or place the 7 here. Is there more I can do with 7s at this point? I mean, they're here. Do we have... Yeah, we have all the 7s except this rectangle. Okay. And then let's just look at this triple then. Oh, yeah, I see the 3's looking in, putting a 3 there. And then this... pair, nope, the 2 looks down. It's not a pair. It's just done. That's a 2. And this is the 5. All right. And so this should be triple, triple pair. So let's just fill those out. We need the 1, 3, 5. It's not 1, that's not 5. We need the 4, 6, 9. Oh, by the way, 5 up here is placed. We'll follow up on that in a second. Sorry, I don't really like... I play on a really big screen also, which I don't recommend. But the reason I do that is so that I can capture the largest, the best possible quality capture that I can on my computer so that you get the nice crisp numbers so they're easy to read. But it does mean that like I literally can't see the whole grid without moving my head around. And so it makes it easier. Makes it easier to accidentally ignore things that are far away from where I'm looking. But anyway, we need the 2 and 8 here. This 8 tells us the order. That's 2, that's 8. That gives us the 3 and the 8 and the 9 and the 3. That gives us the 5. All right. I don't think this puzzle's holding on much longer. We have a pair here and a pair here. This is 3. I mean, there's so many places to look. I think we're just finishing. We need the 3, 6 here. And then here we need the 1, 9. This 9 tells us the order. That's 1, that's 9, that's 2, that's 1. Here we need 3 or 6. The 6 tells us the order. That's our 1 and our 3. Pair here, we need a 6 and 9. The 6 tells us that's 9, that's 6. Pair here, we need a 2. I can finish those in a second. Oh, we do need the 4, so let's finish these first. We need the 4, 9, and 6. This 4 looks up, telling us that's 4 and that's 2. All right. We have just one box not marked up, so sometimes the easiest thing to do is just think about one digit at a time. So we need a 1. And I'm just going to center mark it as we go. We need a 1 in one of these two. We need the 2, which goes in one of these two. We need the 3. No, we have the 3. We need a 4. So the 4 is in one of these two. So that's our triple, which isn't resolved. We need a 5. Nothing. Okay, sorry, that 5 is resolved. The 5 goes here. The 7 is one of these two. We need an 8. 8 can only go there. That gives us 6 and 8, giving us 1, 2, and 6. We know these are done. This is 1, 2, 4. So that's 4, 1, and 2. We just have to be careful about here. That's 7 and 4. That's our 7. Last digit's 9, and we're done. So you can see how by doing that first holistic pass, if you can get that done quickly and really pinpoint and identify the most important information, which I think I did. Like I didn't see anything in the systematic scan where I was like, I should have also noticed that. So I don't know if this puzzle was just on the easier side anyway, but you can see how having that important information seeded right away before we start our systematic scan, I barely did the systematic scan at all, and the puzzle collapsed on us. Yeah, that's definitely if you want to get fat. Like if you're stuck at around the 15 to 20 minute solve mark, and you want to get faster, and you've been doing like this super rigorous systematic solve, start just trying to look at the whole puzzle first and see if there's really obvious places to seed important information, but don't go overboard with it. Otherwise you're doing the systematic out of order. Just be like, okay, this is pointing. I need to know about pointing. This is obviously, if you find singles, place them. So you're looking for singles, you're looking for pointing, you're looking for claiming, you're looking for extremely restricted cells, like with 2 left maybe, or if you've got like a really restricted row or box that you might want to fill that whole triple out so you know what it is. But other than that, like the point is to be fast, whatever's fast for you. And then if it didn't finish the puzzle, which oftentimes it won't, then start being systematic about making sure you didn't miss anything. All right, cool. Well, I hope this was helpful. And if you enjoyed this, why don't leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.